Welcome back everyone. I am Bikes from DS Solution. I am a software engineer and a full stack developer. I have been building websites for a long time now. I hope you enjoyed our previous video on HTML introduction. We didn't do much in previous video other than introducing what HTML is and how HTML, CSS and JavaScript can be combined to create an interactive web page. We will continue our journey of learning HTML with this video as well. So in this video we will download some software so that we can write HTML more efficiently and view them. So what will we need? We'll need text editor and a browser. Text editor is for writing HTML and a browser to display it. Text editor is a program that we use for writing some text. There are certain text editors which are good for writing codes. Those editors speed up our workflow, providing code completion, error checking, and much more. There are plenty of free versions as well as paid versions. I have listed out some of them. We will be sticking with Visual Studio Code in this tutorial. I would suggest that you to write a code rather than using a code completion or copying and pasting in this phase, because you will get to repeat the code and get the grasp of the HTML very nicely if you just keep typing whole HTML at this learning phase. As soon as you get comfortable with the basics, you can use a code completions provided by text editors so that it will speed up your coding. And the web browser we'll be using is a Google Chrome. We need to have a web browser to display our HTML. It is an application software that we use for displaying our web pages that may contain various text, images, or videos. The HTML that we will be writing will be rendered by the browser using rendering engine to translate out our code into text, images, or videos. That's how we get to see what we have written. You can choose any browsers you like, but for this tutorial I'll be downloading Google Chrome and we'll be sticking with Google Chrome. Once you are ready with the text editor and the browser setup, we can begin writing some HTML. First thing first though, we need to know which format to save the file. We have to save our file in an .html or .htm extension to let the server and our browser know that we are serving the HTML file, so that the browser knows it needs to interpret HTML. The difference between .htm and .html is that in old days, .htm were used due to compatibility issues with some old operating systems, and sometimes when it didn't take for latest extension or had short file name limitation. But these days, in modern world, we don't have such limitation, and .html extension is widely used. We will stick with .html extension. Let me quickly download Visual Studio Code and a web browser. Open any default browser that came with your machine. In my case, I'm using Windows operating system and I have Bing. I also have a Mozilla Firefox installed. It is always a good practice to test your web pages in many browsers as you can. However, for this tutorial we will be installing Google Chrome, so just go to www.google.com and just type Google Chrome. That's the easiest way to get the link so that I don't have to memorize the link, and just do download Chrome. It automatically detects my Windows, so I'm downloading it. Just open the file. It will take a few seconds to download. If you are comfortable with downloading and installing, you can just skip this video and the other part where we will be downloading and installing VS Code. So here we are, we have Google Chrome. Now let's download the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Again, go to google.com, type in Visual Studio Code. Again, this is the easiest way so that you don't have to memorize the actual URL. Again, choose whichever operating system you have. In my case, I have a Windows, so I'll just download it. It will take a while depending on your internet speed. Again, if you are comfortable, you can just skip up downloading and installing videos in this tutorial section. We will be writing codes in 1 or 2 videos after this one. So yeah, you can choose your file location. Just do next. If you want to have a desktop icon, just to create a desktop icon. You can customize the settings as your needs. So install. So let's launch Visual Studio Code. Open. This is what it looks like. Alright, let's quickly create a new file and just say learning HTML and save. I'll save in a desktop. Again, I said the file extension need to be .html or .stm. I'll just say testing.html, or the file extension can be .stm. Alright, we'll just do .stml. There you go. Here, this is our file we just created. We can just double click to open up with the default browser. Currently it's Chrome for me. So here we go, learning HTML. If you just view source, inspect, we can see how the browser interpret has HTML, and it adds HTML head, body, and HTML. We'll go detail on what these tags are. Let me quickly show why the file extension needs to be either .html or .htm. Let me use a code completion at this point, but in this learning phase I would suggest that you to type whole code rather than using a code completion. But for demonstration purpose, I'm just using a code completion. So this is our bare bone HTML code. You don't need to worry about what these tags are at this moment. I just want to demonstrate that why the file extension needs to end with .html or .sdm. Just quickly save it and just add something here. Testing y.html or .html. Save, and if we open this file now, it shows that y.html or .stm file extension, right? But what if we don't have the file extension as .html or .stm? Let's see what happens. Again, you can just quickly create a new file just doing double clicking here or just doing Control N. Let me paste the code that I copied, or you can just do Control V. And this time let's save as, just say no extension. Again, this VS Code is smart to know that this is HTML, so it will try to save as .html. So I would put something else, just do .txt. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like if you try to open up the file. It's just a .txt extension, so you need to have a .html or .stm extension. Alright, that's all for this video. We'll be back with another video. We'll cover basic HTML terminology in the next video, so stay tuned. We'll be back. Bye bye.